Hey everybody, welcome back to North Country Off Grid. Today we've got a coffee chat with Chad and Shelby.
Hey guys!
She's Shelby.
I'm Shelby and I've got my coffee.
Hey, if you guys are new to our channel, our channel is just about a family out homesteading and living off grid out here. Go back and check out some of our videos, get caught up on our story, but that's what we've got going on. Today's video, however, we're going to address some top secret stuff.
Ooh, what kind of top secret stuff?
We were asked by a few people, are you guys preppers? Are you preppers?
Are we preppers?
It's none of your business!
Who's asking?
I'd have to say if we were preppers, we wouldn't tell you. We wouldn't tell you. I gotta tell you, I gotta say that I think prepping goes hand in hand with homesteading, and I think it's more out of necessity than an actual conscious effort, really. You don't necessarily make the decision, you kind of do it because you're like, hey, I'm tired of running to town all the time and grabbing stuff. I need to prepare for some stuff taking place in the future. I
agree, especially with our lifestyle. We don't live super close to town. And then the stores that we do have out here know that they're the only stores that are out here, so they charge you a lot for even just milk. So
yeah, you're taking advantage of the people when you do that, by the way.
But it's biting them in the butt.
Yep, they're about to get put out of business with all your hijacking prices to all the little people out here in the country.
So anyways, with that in mind, with a family of 3 kiddos and me and Chad, groceries are expensive. So, I mean, when there's deals going on in the store and we can grab cans for cheap, we certainly do that. And we always prepare to be stuck out here because it seems like there's lots of stuff that could always go wrong to where we are stuck out here. So, I guess with that in mind, we definitely are preppers in the way that we don't always have enough supplies out here to last us for a week or so. We're definitely set up for much longer than a week. And then just kind of with some bigger things in mind too.
Yeah, well, getting back to that, some of the things that we have to just naturally prepare for is getting snowed in. This year we actually did get snowed in a couple of times. Our vehicles just wouldn't make it out anymore. And then we get a pretty good mud season out here, and we've got a real poopy road. So the mud season will kind of stop us. You know, we got to wait for the soil to drain and the ground to kind of harden at times, or the neighbor to bring some equipment down. He likes to bring equipment down once in a while and make our road pretty.
But we really like the simplicity of our life. So being snowed in isn't like this big deal to us. If anything, it's like, oh, we're snowed in.
No, it's kind of nice that we don't have to leave every single day, you know, and we have to be somewhere. I think the most stressful thing about being snowed in would be like, oh, I've got to be somewhere. We don't really have to be anywhere, unless it's super crucial for Shelby to get out, in which case we could always,
for my job,
we could always snowshoe out or something like that. Nothing that I do needs to take precedent that day. If we get snowed in or whatever, a job can get pushed.
We always do have an emergency plan, though. Like if one of the kids needed to go to the hospital or something, we've always got backup plans.
You're getting ahead on our checklist.
Oh, sorry.
I got to make a checklist, especially with this topic, because Shelby will get off track like crazy. It's like watching YouTube. One minute you'll be watching Stony Ridge Farmer. The next minute you're watching hockey fights and listening to Bigfoot in the woods. You just get crazy lost. So, and Shelby will go nuts talking about this stuff.
Hand me a glass of wine and we'll have a totally different conversation.
I gotta keep a leash on her. I gotta edit this one. So, some of the items that we always prep and we gotta think about is water. And food. So, because we try to go to town less than once a week. You know, it would be nice if we can extend that out to once a month. But we have to buy a lot of non-perishable food items, which does mean a lot of canned items, things that aren't going to go bad too quick. In the wintertime, it's not too bad because we can store stuff. It's really cold. It's not a problem. In the summertime, all our fresh food stuff gets trashed pretty quick.
It does.
If the pigs don't get into it.
Pigs.
Pigs got into our cooler the other night. Ate everything. Pigs. We'll get him back one day. We'll eat him.
So we're definitely not as set up as we'd like to be. Again, we just moved here in July. So yeah, we've got tree trimming to do. We eventually want to get a well dug. We'll have a root cellar at some point. So we still have a lot more that we want to get done.
Which are the fixes to those problems?
Yeah.
The root cellar is going to allow us to store food longer, which is going to allow us to have more, you know, a longer food storage.
Yeah.
So, and then the water, we don't have a well here yet, which means we have to have the ability to store water. And we do, and it can get better, and we plan on improving that also. And not just for us, but for our animals.
Yeah.
You know, our animals can't go without out here. They got to have water every single day. So we have water tanks around the property to catch rain. I guess we got a bunch of that stuff.
Yeah.
But we need more, and we need it better, and we plan on implementing a garden this year, which means we're going to implement more of a water catch system.
Yep.
And an irrigation system. That's going to be fun. So that's food and water. Got to prep for it, got to prepare. So what are we preparing for? Being stuck in here for a couple of days. Then,
and who knows what else could happen, but I won't go there. But the main thing is that we're looking at where we are and what we currently have, but also seeing what we would like to become. So we're quite a ways away from where we'd be comfortably set up, but that's our whole goal with the life that we're doing, is to be self-sustained and really eventually one day be able to get mainly all of our food off of the property, have all of our water here. So eventually these trips to town will be maybe even once every couple of months.
boy, it'd be nice to not even have to go, really.
Yeah, so these are our goals. This is kind of the mindset that we have and where we'd like to go.
So also basically a natural need out here, homesteading, the fact that we have a fire-burning wood stove means that we have to prepare for the winter. So we have to put up firewood, right? So it's just a natural prep that takes place. If you don't put up enough firewood, you die.
Well, you
could die.
You could die.
You could absolutely die. You know, we live in the north up here. It's cold up here. We get harsh winters. There's people that wander out in the woods and die due to weather and exposure every year up here. So yeah, it happens. I think we take for granted that, oh, you know, it's 2018. You're not going to die. But we need to stack wood. So putting up wood, we probably need to put up about 4 or 5 cords for the year, which is going to be plenty in this place. We know that in this little cabin, we did pretty good with about 1.5 cords. We needed more. So we know that 3 to 4 cords will be plenty.
Yeah, because if we could always roll it over to the next year, that's just a great bonus.
Oh. So this year, we've decided that we are going to try and store for about 3 years out. We're going to try and put up about 10 to 12 cords of wood this year so that we're just always staying ahead.
Well, and two, so when you talk about prepping, you could be prepping for a natural disaster. You could be prepping for
which we've seen in this country with Hurricane Katrina.
Yep. And then also you could be prepping for something catastrophic to happen.
Yeah, the whole island of Puerto Rico was without power. 100% of the populace was without power for well over a month.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure they have it fully restored.
I don't think they do.
It's kind of you get comfortable thinking it's 2018, that could never happen, but then here's a little island that we own. We got that. I think we took it from the British. I don't know who we took it from. Doesn't matter. But we've got this island down there that is a part of the United States. Or a territory, I guess. We own it. Territory. It's not a state. We have it. It's ours. But it happened to those people. 100% of the power went out and stayed out for quite some time. And if you're not ready for that, you know, what is it? What would it mean to you and your family if the power went out? And if the power went out for more than 3 days?
But then you could also be prepping for, like, say Chad hurt his back really bad and he could not cut firewood for the season.
Chad don't get hurt?
Well, I'm just saying, okay, I hurt myself and Chad's got to take care of me and he can't
cook!
What
am I going to do?
Oh, man.
I got to train Callie.
Send help. Please send help if that happens.
Send top ramen.
Shoot. Anyways, but so to cut a couple years out, firewood, that's a great plan to be prepared for because you never know what could happen. So if you've got the time today to prepare and help your future self out, it's always a good idea.
Absolutely. It can't hurt.
No.
You can't hurt having too much of it, you know, too much firewood sitting out there drying, getting better and better as the years go on.
Seriously.
Is never going to just put a damper on your day.
We burned a lot of green this year, so to have dry wood would be great.
And we've done it before. We've ran out of wood before. And then last year we had surplus wood. In fact, all the wood that we moved to this property with was all surplus wood. I didn't even cut wood this year, and that's why we ran out this year.
Yep. So we've got food that we're thinking about. We've got water that we're thinking about. We've got heat that we're thinking about. What else are we thinking about when we're prepping?
Oh, one of the things that we like to do is we like to actually grab literature on gardening, meat processing. I like to buy a lot of sort of woodsy bushcraft type stuff, learning just different little, because I do hunt and I do go out in the woods, and it's always nice to, you know, if you ever get stuck out overnight, what do you need to do to make it through the night? Not always life-threatening, but there's been times where we've had to walk out at night, and there's been times where we've thought about, hey, should we maybe make camp and not get lost coming out at night, or do we go for it?
Yeah.
So, and those are just practical skills up here in the north, where the majority of, you know, the men and women in North Idaho do hunt and do wander into the backcountry, and, you know, they do get out in the woods.
They do, yeah.
And stuff happens in the woods.
Well, in thinking about literature and books, I always am a big fan of books because what if the internet did go away? I mean, we are so quick to every single day. I mean, I even do it daily living off grid. I use Google. How do I do this? How do I do that? Could you imagine if that was gone and you weren't able to do that? Would you have the basic skills that you would need to do a lot of the stuff to survive?
Yeah, well, yeah, and not only, I mean, and not even something that's catastrophic, you know, let's say the power went out and you were like, how do I cook this? Oh, I need to go print it off the internet. And you don't have it because the power went out, you know, so it's, and that's not, again, it's not life-threatening. It's just one of those things where if you're not prepared for it, then you go without it when that time comes. Pretty simple.
So there's also tools. We like to be thinking about the kinds of tools that we would need.
We do kind of different categories of tools. So we do tools that are just like our everyday type of tools. And then we do tools that would be like, you know, let's say I couldn't get out to get fuel for my chainsaw. So we have...
off-grid tools.
We have manual tools. We have tools to be able to do all that stuff. Saws,
like
hand
Grandpa
saws.
used to do. Just
like Grandpa used to do it. You know, and that's just simple. You know, again, it's not life-threatening in this situation. You know, if I needed to...
In what situation, Chad?
In the situation where we get mudded in and it's like, man, I need to cut wood because it's cold or whatever, but we can't get out because the mud has stopped us and we're going to be here for the next 3 days. Well, I have hand tools. I could go out, chop wood, saw wood. We're not going to go without. And so I think that principle just sort of carries over with all sorts of tools. Again, with building, I can build out here without running the generator. I've got all the hand tools needed to build a structure.
You do.
And we collect that kind of stuff when we're out looking in different places. Where we do like to go to collect that stuff is yard sales. We're always looking for tools and stuff at yard sales.
Yes.
And one thing we do is double up or triple up.
Or quadruple.
Yeah, if we see, I mean, if a lot of times people will sell their old tools for like $2-3, and it's like $2-3 for an axe, you know, because it's got a weathered handle.
Well, and I've seen like screwdrivers and things like that for quarters.
For cents, yeah, absolutely. So just having little stuff, which is silly because I buy them all the time and I lose screwdrivers more than anything else.
I know. With our prepping, we should do...
We need more organization.
We need better organization, but again, we moved here in July, so we just don't have it all set up yet. But one day, it'll be all set up, and it will all have a place and easy to get to. But until then, we're not letting that be our reason for not thinking ahead.
Yeah, so we've always got tools. We've always got multiples of tools. You know, if something breaks, and if something breaks, if something gets lost, you know, you don't go without. You have multiples of them. You know, even if you have 4 or 5 shovels, couldn't hurt.
No, it definitely couldn't. And I mean, say nothing ever happened and we never ever need those. We then, when Callie, Deegan, and McKinley move out on their own and they're like, Dad, I need a shovel. We're like, here you go. We've got one for you.
Be like, get a job and go get your own shovel.
But
you're the reason I lost my other 4.
Never mind.
That's why you need to double up. If you have kids, quadruple up on your tools because they will yard sale them. I think I've found 3 shovels since the snow has melted because these little turkeys play with my stuff.
But they're good about like wanting to help, and they see what we're doing and they go off and they create their own.
Right.
Like yesterday, the kids made the best little fort that reminded me of when I was a kid. And it's fun to see, like, oh, they've seen me and Dad do that, and they recreated it. So they have fun, but they don't always remember to take care of the tools afterwards.
They don't.
They're kids.
So, tools, where do we get tools? We don't buy tools new, usually. What I generally do is we'll get a new tool that's new. But when we see that stuff at yard sales, then we'll then double up on it. So it's yard sales and auctions are where we have found...
You're telling them about auctions?
Yeah, there's auctions everywhere. Listen, you want to go to an auction? Go to an auction.
Secret.
You see us there bidding on stuff? Go away. Don't bid. Don't bid us up.
Oh, jeez.
The cool thing about it is like the stuff that we go and get that's great for us homesteading are the stuff that people don't want anymore because it's not gas powered, it's not automatic, electric, it's not easy. You know, we go and we're looking for like, where's those 1800s farm tools and stuff, you know, like the old little seed planter thingies and, you know, whatever else. Whatever else just makes it easier out here for us to be off grid. We're just trying to live like a bunch of people from the 1800s.
I know. I think we were born in the wrong time.
Probably.
But we're figuring it out.
Which is okay. But again, like those are the items at the auctions that people aren't looking for. They're not looking for that old stuff. That's the junk. So we get it for good buys.
Yeah,
you can.
Do.
Anyway, sometimes you'll go to people's yard sales and they want more than brand new price for something that's old and crusty.
That happens. Or those ones that are starting to pop up where you got to pay to even go into the yard sales.
Listen, don't charge an admission fee to your junk sale, okay? And don't put prices on your junk and you're not willing to come down. That's the craziest thing. If I'm at your yard sale and I've got a handful of stuff and you won't barter on a single item, I will put everything down and walk out. If you don't barter on anything, I'm gone.
Oh, jeez.
It's a yard sale. Everything's for sale. Prices are negotiable. Come on. Right?
You're funny. Let people run their yard sales how they want to run.
Yeah, run them into the ground. Have fun. I don't care. I'm not buying from you. What are we talking about? All right. So one of the most important things with prepping, preparing for, is developing your skills, having your skills pre-developed, not waiting for something to happen and then you're like, oh man, how do I start this lantern?
Right.
You know, how do I fire up this propane lantern? I don't know, never done it before. Now I'm trying to figure it out in the dark. It's not a good time to figure it out. You know, when the lights go out, it's not a good time for you to then look around for your flashlights and your batteries that are in 2 separate places, but you can't remember where you put either of them.
It's true, yeah. I mean, and that one I think stresses me out the most out of all the ones that we've talked about because there's so many skills that I still want to develop. I wasn't raised this way. We've only been living this lifestyle for 4 years, and I feel like I have done a good job of learning a lot and mastering a lot of skills, but I still have so many more that I want to do, including...
What's the #1 skill you want to develop?
I really want to be a good gardener. I am awful at gardening.
You know what you should do to help you with your gardening?
Do it.
Just stock Bumblebee Junction. So I heard Keeping It Dutch talking about their channel a couple times. If you guys aren't subscribed to Keeping It Dutch, go check him out. If you guys aren't subscribed to Bumblebee Junction, go check them out. They have really cool videos. Honestly, they play this music while they're doing it, and I could just fall asleep to this music. It's so soothing. I like it.
I need to go check them out.
You do. I watched a few of their videos last night. It's amazing to me because we've tried to grow stuff before and we've failed miserably. It's amazing to me how some people can grow just beautiful gardens. Like they're just so good at it.
Yeah.
And I know it comes from doing it.
It does. It comes from experience. It comes from knowledge. My mom is going to come up this summer and really help me out with my garden. So thanks, Mom. I'm super excited for that. And then...
We'll make a video out of it, Mom.
She can't wait. And then too, in the past, before we were homeschooling our kids, we were trying to juggle a lot. And gardens take a lot of time, and it was just hard to make it all work. So I'm excited because I feel like we've got a lot of our other things in place and a lot of systems that work. So this year I should have a lot more time to be able to focus on my garden because I really, really want it. Like more than ever, I really want to be a good gardener. So that's my goal for the year.
And we're prepping for better gardening in the future because we've got big compost piles going.
We do, yeah. And it's a skill I really want to pass down to my kiddos, too. So I just think being able to grow your own food, being in control of your diet, being in control of your health, really, with the kind of food that you're putting in your body is just a huge empowerment. So
it's such a basic, and it's kind of silly to think like, oh, you can't even grow your own food. Because we're so dependent on the grocery stores, you know, we're so dependent on someone else to feed us that again in 2018 we don't think like, oh, we could starve to death. But I mean,
they're all basic
if you can't
skills.
grow your own food, they are the basics. It's just the basics of life, you know. It's being able to build, it's being able to put a shelter over your head, being able to eat, you know, being able to stay warm.
Yeah, like hopefully you never need to use them, but it's a good thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind of, well, what would I do if the power went out? Would I be able to keep the family warm? Would I be able to feed them if I couldn't get to the grocery store? I think all of those things are great things to have in your mind. I definitely don't think that you should live every single day in fear that something could happen. But just to take a little bit of time and prepare for it and set it aside and go on with the rest of your life.
I think there's a difference between living, you know, prepping out of living in fear of it and then prepping because you're aware of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Being able to understand like, okay, there's a possibility, a scenario here, and I want to be prepared for that scenario.
Yep.
Versus the world's going to crash and I want to be the last guy walking around with a gas mask on.
But the electrical grid is very fragile, so who knows what could happen. It's something that's been on my mind. It's been something that I've thought about, and I don't think it hurts to think about it. Hopefully it never happens, and if not, great.
The great thing about it is if it happens, we won't know. You'll have to call and tell us, or you'll have to send a smoke signal and tell us, because I guess you won't be calling us if the grid goes down.
I guess this is kind of one of those things where I joked about earlier, where hand me a glass of wine and I'll go off about it. But if this is the kind of stuff that you like to think about as well, I read the book 1 Second After. Oh my goodness. It was so good. I didn't even want to do anything else until I read all of that book. It was so good, and it's made me think about things of, oh gosh, what would I do? Like, how would I make it all work? And I think that it's just kind of opened up my mind a little bit to different scenarios that really and truly could happen. Again, don't live your life by it, but at least just to be aware that it could.
Yeah, no, super good book, guys. That's 1 Second After by William Frostgen.
We will put a link down below.
Frostgen.
Yeah, we'll put a link down below because it's a good one. And if you guys read it or if you have read it, tell us about it.
If you guys read one book in your life, go read 1 Second After. If you guys are big time readers, go read 1 Second After. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. If I'm not like a zombie person or anything like that. Which has nothing to do with that book at all. It is about like an EMP going off and the electrical grid going under. But it's very... Why don't you ruin the book? No, because it's like it happens instantly. But there's a lot of books out there that almost seem like they are written for a Hollywood script. Yes. You know, it's a big climactic battle, war, post-apocalyptic life type book. This is not that. This is a very real basics.
You fall in love with the characters. Like, it's a good book.
Go read it. Just go read it. If you don't like it, we'll buy it back from you. As long as too many of you don't not like it, because I don't need 30 copies of it. So the first one of you who doesn't like it, we'll buy it back from you. The rest of you, you're on your own. But I can almost guarantee that it'll be the best book you've ever wrote. No. Read.
Yep.
Whatever.
Oh, well, you guys...
There's something in the coffee today, guys. Shelby's going off talking about wine and coffee, and I don't speak English anymore.
Oh, goodness. Well, we just wanted to do a quick little video with you guys, and we've been asked a couple of times if we're preppers, and my answer would probably be yes. I think that Chad's would be it's none of your business.
If I was a prepper, I would have multiples of stuff. I would not have them in the same places. If I did own any guns, I would have multiples of them and not have them in the same places. Same with ammo. If I did, they would not all be in the same place. And if you found some, you wouldn't find the rest.
So anyways, I don't think it necessarily matters what you're preparing for. It can be all sorts of different... Yeah.
That's going to mess it all up in editing.
I know, but I think it was already over there.
So guys, that's kind of our spiel on prepping. We're happy to go into it more if you guys are interested in it. Our channel is not necessarily a prepping survival channel, although a lot of the skills will kind of carry over because we are essentially out here trying to learn how to survive, thrive on our own.
Be self-sufficient. So I feel like they go hand in hand, and I don't think that prepping has to mean one thing. I think it can mean a very big, wide variety of things.
Prepping's kind of a dirty word. A lot of people sort of like, preppers, you should never put anyone down who's prepared for a situation.
No.
That's like someone carrying an emergency vehicle pack, and they're ready for a flat tire, but here you are without a flat tire, and you're like, you're carrying a 5th tire? You're stupid. No, they're prepared.
Yeah.
Don't hate on people that are prepared.
I have to be prepared out here as a mom, too. Like, say one of my kids have an earache in the middle of the night, or they've got a sore throat. If they were in a lot of pain, it would take me 2 hours to get back to them with medicine. So I have to think about those things, and I have to be stocked and ready and prepared. So I think that you can be prepared on that kind of a level as a mom, or you can take it to a whole next level where you will be okay for a couple of years if you had to stay put. So
with that too, having friends, having a little community of people that you trust that have similar or different skills. If it's a skill you don't possess, if you can't grow anything, but you have a friend that grows, get together with them and try to learn from them. And if there's something you can teach them in trade, you've got yourself a heck of a little community started there. So
absolutely.
Shelby and I are always looking for friends. We're always looking for a community to build. So, if we can benefit your life and you can benefit our life, and we like hanging out, that sort of thing. You like being around, then
we love the bartering system.
Community.
I think that's great when we can. You do something for us, we'll do something for you. I think that that's always a great
Absolutely.
system.
There's so many skills out there to learn. There's so many things to figure out that it kind of helps to sort of pair up with someone, or have a few people that have all sorts of different trades. Build yourself a little community.
Yeah, it can get overwhelming if you think that you've got to learn it all. So, and to have those friends, that's always great too, because that's the social and all of that. So I think it goes really well together. So that's our prepping spiel. If you guys like this topic, we can go into it further. If you really want to talk to me about it, just come over with a bottle of wine. We'll have a good time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was fun to kind of goof around. I think this one made Chad a little bit more uncomfortable.
I was just worried about what Shelby was going to say in this video. I'm like,
did I do okay?
What is she going to say?
Did I do all right?
Yeah, you did great. You did good.
I think he had a couple of things that was like, don't talk about that, don't talk about this, but I think I did all right.
Sometimes you got to keep your operational security at a minimum.
All right, you guys. Well, we'll see you on the next one. If you guys aren't already subscribers, please subscribe and hit that like button and comment. All of those things really help our channel grow, so we appreciate it.
You guys definitely comment on this video. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you do if you want to share it. And if you want to connect with us or some stuff. Almost had to edit that out. You guys want to, if you want to connect with us, send us a message. Let us know what you guys are about, and we're happy to talk to you.
And if there's something that we didn't mention in this one that, you know, maybe we have thought about it, but maybe we haven't. We love connecting.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. Perfect. All right, guys. So that's our homesteading channel. We didn't talk about anything homesteading really today. It was more prepping. So
I think they're hand in hand.
Be good to one another, and remember, prepping ain't easy.
And read 1 second after. You will not regret it.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
And then let us know what you thought.
Bye, guys.